The story of the Garden of Eden, at the beginning of the Bible, is one of the most enigmatic and debated narratives in Christian tradition. And among the various mysteries that surround this perfect place, there is one question that has always intrigued humanity. What, in fact, was the forbidden fruit that led to the fall of Adam and Eve and their banishment from paradise? For many, knowledge about the forbidden fruit is a key to understanding original sin and its consequences. But over the centuries, what seemed like a simple detail actually carries deep layers of symbolism and interpretation. My name is Elijah Shepherd, and in this text, we will explore different sources, such as the Bible, the Book of Enoch, and various traditions, to uncover the true meaning behind this fruit that changed the destiny of all humanity. In the book of Genesis, chapters 2 and 3, we find the famous passage where God creates Adam and Eve and places them both in the Garden of Eden, a perfect paradise filled with fruit trees and abundant life. The command was clear. They could freely eat from all the trees, but there was one exception: the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If they ate from its fruit, they would die. This prohibition established a fine line between obedience and the desire to explore the unknown, which, according to the biblical narrative, led to the original sin and expulsion from paradise. The intriguing detail here is that, although the fruit from the forbidden tree is central to the narrative, the Bible does not specify what type of fruit it was. This has led to centuries of speculation, and the absence of a detailed description has opened the door for various interpretations. So the question remains, which fruit represented this forbidden knowledge? Beyond the Bible, there are other ancient texts that attempt to explain what happened in Eden, with one of the most notable being the Book of Enoch. This is an apocryphal book, meaning it is not considered part of the biblical canon, but holds significant influence in both Jewish and early Christian tradition. In the Book of Enoch, the tree of knowledge is described in a symbolic and fascinating way. Enoch, a biblical patriarch, reports that the fruit of the forbidden tree was in fact part of a tree of wisdom. This detail points to the idea that the fruit represented a type of divine wisdom, a deeper knowledge that should not be accessed by humans. Furthermore, the Book of Enoch makes a particularly interesting connection. It describes the fruit not as an apple, as many suggest, but as bunches of grapes. These grapes are seen as symbols of wisdom and divine revelation, but also of temptation and fall. The idea that the fruit of Eden consisted of grapes adds a new layer to the interpretation, suggesting that the original sin was not merely a simple act of disobedience, but a pursuit of divine knowledge that was beyond human reach. For centuries, popular tradition has associated the forbidden fruit with the apple. This connection can partly be explained by the Latin language. The word malum in Latin means both apple and evil, which led to a link between the forbidden fruit and the concept of evil. Over the years, this association strengthened, especially in artistic and literary representations, such as Renaissance paintings, which often depicted Eve holding an apple. However, this interpretation is not universal. In other cultures and traditions, the fruit has been associated with other types of fruit. In addition to apples and grapes, other fruits and even symbolic representations have been discussed over time. Some scholars suggest that the fruit might have been a fig, due to the fact that Adam and Eve used fig leaves to cover their shame after realizing their nakedness, right after the transgression. However, the truth is that the Bible does not offer a direct answer, and the choice of fruit becomes a reflection of cultural and theological interpretations throughout the centuries. Regardless of the type of fruit it truly was, the important thing is to understand what it represents in a theological context. The forbidden fruit symbolizes more than just the simple transgression of a divine command. It is a symbol of human desire, the search for knowledge, and at the same time, of unforeseen consequences. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil, therefore, was not just a physical tree, but a metaphor for the limits imposed by God upon humanity. By eating from the fruit, Adam and Eve not only disobeyed a divine command, but also sought a type of wisdom that was beyond human reach. Sin was not only disobedience, but the desire to transcend the limits of their nature and attain a power of judgment that only belongs to God. The fruit that represented this wisdom ultimately led to the fall of Adam and Eve, and with it, spiritual death and separation from paradise. However, we must not forget that knowledge itself is not inherently evil. In fact, the search for knowledge and truth is a natural longing of the human being. Therefore, the sin does not lie in the fruit itself, but in the way we seek it and the motivations that lead us to cross the limits set by God. And what about you? What do you think the forbidden fruit of Eden truly symbolizes? If you've read this far, share your hypothesis or praise God in the comments. Let's explore this mystery together. Don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to stay informed about more biblical revelations.